I'm Joanna Zapala, and I'm here to tell you about how to carve a good pumpkin. Now, first what you have to do is pick the pumpkin you're going to carve. Usually you can go to a pumpkin patch, or they even sell them at the supermarket. So now we have our selection of pumpkins, and I'm going to tell you how to figure out which pumpkin to pick. Now this pumpkin is too small to carve, so this one we're not going to pick. And this one, if you come closer, is kind of bitten off at certain parts, and that's not good for a good pumpkin, and it has no stem. But this one is just right. It has a clean surface and a good sturdy stem. Now, before you start carving your pumpkin, you want to make sure that you have a nice clean surface, so you might want to wipe it down a little bit to get all the dirt out of it, because pumpkin patches can be very dirty. Now, the utensils you need to carve a pumpkin are your knives, your spoons to scoop out all the guts, and a bowl to put the guts in. Now, also, if you want to make some pumpkin seeds, you can have an extra bowl to sort out the seeds from the guts in order to make pumpkin seeds. The first step to carving it is to carve a circle around your stem so that you could open it up. Now, you don't want a perfect circle because then it's going to be tough to figure out where to put it in. So you want to do a circle with a little indent so you know that that indent goes in the same spot each time. And you just do that like so. So after you have a full circle left, you can take off the top and you can start taking off the guts. Now, this part gets a little messy, so you want to have paper towels on hand. And now with the guts, you also get the seeds. And they look something like this. And when you put them in the oven and season them the right way, they actually are pretty tasty. So now you want to reach inside the pumpkin. That's what the inside of the pumpkin looks like. And you want to get down in there and you want to clean it out so that when you carve it, you don't have all this guts everywhere. Now, as you're doing this, you can, in the meanwhile, sift out and get all the seeds. As you're cleaning out the middle, you can take all the guts and put it in one bowl, and then you can put the seeds in the other bowl. Or later on, you could just take the seeds out of the gut bowl and sift them out. It's up to you. After your pumpkin is remotely clean, like that, you can take a spoon and you can scrape out the excess guts just so that you can have like a clean edge when you carve. And your final step of degutting the pumpkin is you can just fill it up with water and then empty it out so it gets all the seeds you might have missed. And as you can see, the seeds come to the surface when you add water, and then you can just dump it out and get all the stuff you might have missed. Then you just want to dry it up so that it's not too wet. And make sure there's no more water in your pumpkin so you can begin carving. Now, to design your pumpkin, you can either, on a scrap piece of paper, make up a face, or you can go online where they have templates of what kind of pumpkins you want to draw. But for today, we're just going to do a traditional pumpkin face, which is usually 2 triangles for the eyes. Now, you can draw on the pumpkin because when you cut it out, it's going to come off. And then the nose is usually an upside down triangle. Now, this is where your creativity comes into place because you can do whatever kind of face you want. You don't have to stick to the traditional. And then the mouth is usually with jagged teeth and everything. So you just want to base it out so you know where you're cutting, so you're not just cutting without reason. You can make it pretty. Okay. Now, this is a special kind of carving knife where it's a little jagged at the edge, and also it doesn't really hurt as much as what a real knife would be. And what you want to do is you want to puncture the pumpkin, like so, where it is around the edge, and you just gently up and down along the face that you drew on the pumpkin, like so. And then as the edge, you get to an edge, you take it out, and you can wipe away what comes off and continue doing that. Now the more you do this, the more you get a hang of it. Laundry's done. Like so. And then once you get back to where you started, you can just quickly go over where you are and pop it out. Now, as you can see, the hole really isn't that big as it in there, so you can go in and carve out more space so that when you put the candle in, more light shines through so you can actually see the face. So now you want to finish taking out the eyes and the nose, like so. Do the same as what you did for the first eye. Now, as you're ready to take out the final piece to your pumpkin, you might want to wipe the front so that it doesn't have all the guts everywhere. And you can go in again, like I said, with your knife and clean out all the excess guts. And also, some might have fell into the head of your pumpkin, so you might want to take your spoon again and just scrape out all that stuff that fell in there. Now, after you're done carving your face, you can screw the bottom of your candle holder, the candle goes in right here, into the bottom of the pumpkin. You're just going to place it, the bottom, and keep screwing it so that the candle doesn't burn the bottom of the pumpkin, because sometimes that happens, and then it's not very good what burning pumpkin smells like. You just put it in like so. You can place the candle inside, like that. And you put the cap back on, and this is the reason to put that little nub, so that you know exactly where to put it, so you're not like fidgeting. And then at night, you can just light the candle, and you'll see the jack-o'-lantern. So at night, after you light the candle, with parental supervision, you can see what the jack-o'-lantern looks like. Ta-da!